Hey everyone, hope you're having an amazing day. It's Tom. Today's episode name is Bosnian Pyramids Latest Discoveries 2021. Today we will look at the Bosnian Pyramids, which were discovered in 2005 by Professor Semir Osmanagic. First I will tell you what the opponents of this theory say, and then we will look at the pyramids complex with all the important information that I have managed to gather about it. You can then decide for yourself whether the pyramids are real or not. So what do dependents say? The Bosnian Pyramids complex is a pseudo-archaeological term explaining the formation of a cluster of natural hills in the Visoko region of central Bosnia and Herzegovina. Since 2005, Professor Semir Osmanagic claims that these hills are the largest ancient people-built by pyramids on Earth. Scientists rejected his claim by an overwhelming majority. A direct study of the site by geologists, archaeologists and other scientists has shown that hills are natural formations and that there is no evidence that they are human structures. In April 2006, 21 historians, geologists and archaeologists signed a letter published in several Bosnian newspapers describing the excavations as amateurish and without proper scientific supervision. Subsequently, 7 other leading European archaeologists issued a statement from the European Association of Archaeologists stating, "We, the undersigned professional archaeologists from all parts of Europe, wish to protest strongly against the Bosnian authorities' continued support for the so-called Pyramids project, which is being carried out on and near the Visoko Hills. This claim is a cruel deception for the unsuspecting public and has no place in the world of real science." And now let's turn the page and listen to what the other side is saying and who it really is. Professor Osmanagic is a graduate professor of anthropology who received a doctorate in the history of civilizations at the University of Sarajevo in 2008, specifically from the Mayan pyramids in South America. For the past 30 years, he has researched ancient civilizations and especially the pyramids and written 16 books that have been translated into 17 languages. In 2005, he uncovered the first European pyramids, called the Bosnian Pyramids, and since then he has been exploring and researching them. It all started in 2005, when he first saw Visočica Hill and picked up a compass. He found that its sides were oriented to the north, south, east, and west. After this finding, he came to the conclusion that the shape is not accidental, because in combination with the orientation of compass directions, it must be an artificial complex. Professor Osmanagic contacted both the Bosnian Archaeological Institute and the museum, but was immediately rejected everywhere with reason that Bosnia had never had pharaohs and therefore could not have pyramids. Professor Osmanagic founded a non-profit organization in 2006 and invested $380,000 in the project himself. He obtained permission from the government to conduct archaeological research, secure all tools and expensive equipment, and hire experts from various sectors, including geology. However, a month before the first excavation began, 23 leading Bosnian archaeologists, geologists, historians and museum curators signed a petition urging the government to revoke the exploration permit. However, such a reaction was not understood by Professor Osmanagic and the public, which also wanted to know the truth. Professor Osmanagic said that the only way to prove whether he was wrong or not was to carry out a surface excavation to a depth of 1 meter. He said that he would feel as if these people were afraid of something because it was not about money, because the state did not subsidize this project. As if they were afraid that they would have to rewrite the textbooks of human history, says Professor Osmanagic. In addition, he adds that most of these people have never visited the site. The pyramids are located near the city of Visoko, northwest of Sarajevo. The city was the capital of Bosnia during the Middle Ages, and on the hill Visočica with a height of 220 meters are the ruins of the medieval castle Visoki from the 14th century. It was built on top of the old observation post of the Roman Empire, which in turn was built on the ruins of another ancient settlement. What specifically Professor Osmanagic consider is the main evidence to support his claim. The shape of a pyramid which has 4 points and triangular sides that converge at the same angle to the top of the pyramid. If his claims are true, the pyramid would be taller than 147 meters high. The Great Pyramid of Giza, which is considered the largest in the world. Artificially created surface material, which is located on the pyramids. This material has been identified as geopolymer concrete, or artificial concrete, which has better properties than current concrete. The toughest concrete today is in the range of 10 to 60 megapascals, but the concrete of the solar pyramid has 73 to 134 megapascals. According to Osmanagic, his excavations brought evidence of blocks which he claims may be part of an artificial outer surface. Osmanagic claims that these blocks are made by an ancient civilization from concrete cast on the site by a now forgotten technology. This theory was supported by Joseph Davidovich, a famous French scientist in the field of materials, who in 1982 also put forward another hypothesis that the blocks forming the Egyptian pyramids were not carved, as almost all experts believe, but were cast into limestone concrete. Joseph Davidovich has written several very successful books about the pyramids. Similar claims have been made in the past by other experts regarding other giant megalithic structures, including Machu Picchu. The direction of the pyramid to the right, true in Bosnia, is exactly the same as for all Egyptians. The Egyptian pyramids are oriented exactly 0 degrees and 2 minutes north, but measurements have shown that the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun is oriented at 0 degrees 0 minutes and 12 seconds, which is even more accurate than the Egyptian. This measurement was confirmed in 2007 by Enver Buza, a surveyor from the Sarajevo Geodetic Institute, who published an article stating that the solar pyramid is oriented north with perfect accuracy. The Pyramid of the Sun acts as an amplifier. Strong energy and electromagnetic fields are measured here. Osmanagic claims also focused on evidence regarding satellite photography, thermal analysis, and radar and lidar detection. Scientists have discovered an unexplained ray of light coming from the top of the pyramid. Similar rays come from several pyramids located around the world, especially in South America and Egypt. The beam radius of the Bosnian pyramid is 4.5 meters and has a frequency of 28 kHz. In this picture you see red-colored spots that radiate heat. Internal passages. According to geophysical measurements, there are 7 levels of tunnels in the Pyramid of the Sun, which are built like spirals. Underground tunnels. In addition, Osmanagic discovered tunnels around a complex of hills, and the most famous ones were named Ravn tunnels. It is an ancient artificial underground network, currently already cleaned and passable with a length of over 4 kilometers. It is estimated that the tunnels could be up to 10 kilometers long and should lead to the nearby Pyramid of the Sun. Petrified leaves from 34,000 years ago were found in them. In 2010, 3 chambers were discovered here along with a small blue lake. The chambers resemble healing rooms because ionization levels were 43 times higher than normal concentrations outside the pyramid. In the middle of this room you see a mysterious handmade huge ceramic stone. Furthermore, in the Ravn 3 tunnels dry walls were found, over which stalagmites formed. At the beginning of 2020, therefore, 2 samples of these stalagmites were sent to the respected Institute of Geology of the Czech Academy of Sciences, which determined the age of stalagmites at 19,000 years using the method of determining uranium and thorium. This means that the dry wall must be much older than the age derived from the stalagmites because they began to form over the already built wall. Most archaeologists believe that human civilization began about 5,000 years BC. This new finding predates Sumerian and Babylonian culture by a great deal of uncharted and unexplored human history. According to the latest research, it appears that someone deliberately closed these tunnels 5,000 years ago, but the reasons have not yet been clarified. Sacred geometry. When the vertices of the 3 main pyramids of the Sun, Moon, and Dragon are connected, the distance between their vertices is 2,180 meters, and the connection of the vertices creates an almost exact triangle. Astronomical features. The shadow cast by the Pyramid of the Sun on the three most important days for most advanced and extinct civilizations was observed. The first of these was the day of the solstice on June 21, when the triangular shadow of the solar pyramid forms the shape of a pyramid next to the western slope of the moon's pyramid. The bottom of the shadow of the Pyramid of the Sun touched the bottom of the slope of the Pyramid of the Moon on the right. The second day is the middle of summer, when in August you watch a moving shadow through the valley as the sun progresses to the horizon, and just before sunset, the shadow covers the Pyramid of the Moon, and the tip of the Sun Pyramid shadows touches the tip of the Moon Pyramid. The last day is September 23, the day of the autumn equinox. The bottom of the shadow of the Pyramid of the Sun touched the bottom of the slope of the Pyramid of the Moon on the left. And this Caesar's Managich the symbolism of the message left to the builders that the rule of the sun and day ends, and the rule of the moon and night begins. Artifacts. Many artifacts have been discovered since 2005. Some of them are very interesting and could help us understand what civilization or culture we are dealing with. I have some pictures of various of the most interesting artifacts that have been found in the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. Artifacts have different sizes, and they are made of different material. Artifacts were found on various structures and tunnels around the Bosnian Pyramids and Visoko. The most interesting and convincing artifact is the pyramid, which was found in the area of Okolist, which is about 3 kilometers from Visoko. German archaeologists in cooperation with the National Museum of Bosnia and Herzegovina found this pyramid artifact during the excavations of an archaeological site. The material from which the artifact is made is ceramics, and although the artifact was researched in Germany, it is now probably hidden from the public in a vault in the National Museum of Bosnia and Herzegovina. The photos come from the time of his discovery. Another artifact was found on the slope of the Bosnian Dragon Pyramid. This artifact is very interesting and can represent many different things. Some say it is an amulet, while others say it is a small statue. The artifact could also represent 3 different pyramids, the solar, lunar and dragon pyramids. One of the first artifacts to be discovered in the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids looks like a foot. The artifact was found on tumulus in Vrdnice about 1 meter below the ground. The material is sandstone. This is not the first foot artifact to be discovered in the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. Other foot-shaped artifacts were also found in the tunnels. This artifact appears to represent the right foot, and interestingly, almost every artifact found was probably the right foot. Some of these artifacts even have mysterious symbols on them. Many facial artifacts have also been found in the Bosnian Valley of the Pyramids. The most popular is this facial artifact, which was found at the top of the Sun's pyramid. The artifact is very small. Another extremely interesting artifact to be researched is the sandstone slab found on the Pyramid of the Sun in 2006. The artifact has many different symbols, and many people have tried to make their own conclusions about what the symbols represent. Many people said it was some kind of map of the region, while others said it was an astronomical map that was more than 100,000 years old. Furthermore, Professor Osmanagic discovered a huge stone ball, which he believes proves the existence of a lost civilization. He discovered the ball in the forest near the village of Pojanović and believes that it may be the largest stone ball in the world. It has not yet been fully exposed, but Osmanagic estimates its diameter at 6 meters. It has a very high iron content, and preliminary tests suggest that the huge ball can weigh more than 30 tons, making it the largest and heaviest stone ball in Europe. If it turns out to be even heavier, it could overcome similar discoveries in Costa Rica and Mexico, which have been declared the largest stone spheres in the world. Osmanagic says that when the research is complete, the discovery could prove that southern Europe was home to advanced civilizations from the distant past that had their own form of advanced technology. Opponents of archaeologists have, of course, another more natural explanation for the large stone, namely that the rock is probably the result of compaction, formed by the precipitation of natural mineral cement in the spaces between the sediment grains. Concluding questions? So who built these pyramids, and why does the Pyramid of the Sun radiate a ray into space? The answers to these questions could be that they were built by a very advanced ancient civilization, which disappeared along with 99% of the world population after a major global catastrophe. Or the pyramids were built with the help of an intelligent race of ancient aliens who were on this planet before of our known cultures. The Bosnian Pyramids research project has only been running since 2006, and this is a very short time in archaeology. Egyptian pyramids have been studied by Egyptologists for 200 years, but the main questions are still not answered. Likewise, more time is needed at the Bosnian pyramids, and I say, why not search any further? If we keep asking questions, we may eventually find answers. Since the experts are also divided in the answers, I will leave it to you to decide for yourself. Huge thank you for watching this video, and if you like it, please remember to give it thumbs up. Leave comment below, I'd love to read from you, and if you're not subscribed, click subscribe, and also click the little bell icon so you'll immediately get notified of the next video that I publish. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next video.